Hello, Christopher. All right, a reminder that this channel is a not so proud member of YouTube's all encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. We are always looking for new members. Odds are you probably are one. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The language, themes, attitude, and personality of this presenter was not suitable for his own children, blah, blah, blah. Topics discussed will not center on trains and can focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between character, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. And, say it with me, any rebroadcast or transmission of this stream without the expressed written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the channel rules. It's your layout. Do what you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you. And do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel. And good Saturday, or Friday, sorry, I'm a day ahead of myself. How is everybody today? Let's see whom we've got in. We've got Christopher, we've got Tim and Colin. We need David Cook, and that will create the triumvirate of pillars of strength. Hello, Sarah's in the attic. Attic of treasure, how are you? Let me see. Alan from Dragon Junction, an honor, sir. Thank you for coming by. Joseph is here. Always good to see you. Tom Couples is here. And let's see. Chris is here. Another one of the foundations. We've got to have Chris here. It's just not the same without Chris from Hales Heritage Railway. And the Flying Dutchman was... The Flying Scotsman, sorry. Flying Scotsman was near Chris today. So that's cool. So how is everybody on Friday? I'm sporting my latest t-shirt. I'll share this with everybody. My latest daughter design. Silas D. Sumbish is running for mayor. Mayor of Big Gulch, 92. And at the bottom it says, the right Sumbish for the job. And man, I don't know. Something about cameras adding 10 pounds because I'm looking a little heftier than I should. I'm actually down to uh, one of my lowest weights. But these are available if I play some games here. There's all kinds of Model Train Outsider, and Matt Clark related goodies on my Teespring store if anybody wants to check that up. Dwight Curley is here. Hello, Dwight Curley. Nice to have you here. So, what is happening this week? Well, today it's just been torrential downpours all day. For those of you who see me on Facebook, you know a couple of big things are going on. First of all, hopefully you'll notice no blinking. There's no little blinking. Finally, I did a couple of things, but I changed out that blinking LED, put in a new one. It doesn't match the other 5, but what the heck? No more blinking. It's a little brighter too. It has slightly different lumens than the other 5, but I don't know if that would even show up on camera. Let's go. What's a better way to show this? Probably this one. Normally you'd see blinking coming right between that camera and me because the light that's right here that you can't see I'm pointing to would be blinking, but no more blinking. What I did, and what you can see, and if you were on Facebook, you know what happened. I finally crawled under this table and I cut out a hole. I cut out a little rectangular hole there, an access point, and I did 2 things. I changed that blinking LED ceiling light, and I also did some work on some of the track up here. I did not take out the problematic turnout because I don't have a spare of that one. I thought I did. I guess I should have checked, but I had to get this done anyhow. But I did clean up some of the track over there and replaced a couple of pieces of track that I thought were not were part of the problem. So I also expanded the DMU loop, the little loop here. I've extended that up. It probably gained about 3 inches in length. These 2 parking lanes also got moved up a bit, so it's tighter up in here, but it created more space in the middle here. And then the last thing that is new, and I will check back on the chart, Andrew from Marchwoods Junction is here. Nice to have you. I hope I didn't miss anybody else. Let me see. What is the other camera I want to go to? Is it this one? Yeah. I've got 2 more cars to go on this Check Euro City. I had 3 cars last week, but now I have, I got the first class car. I need 1 more of those, but the store only had 1. So I got 1 first class car. Pardon my shaking hand, but I don't know if I got 1 more first class car, and then the second class cars you saw last week, so I'll just put this up here and y'all can check it out as it rolls by. But I got 2 new cars. I got the first class car and the another second class car. There's technically a 3rd type of car that goes on this train. I need 2 of those and 1 more first class car, then I'll have the full consist. And so that's, oh, and let's go to, I also got some more lights. These go on my station because I broke 3 of them, so I've got 3 new ones to replace the ones I broke, and then the pole lights will all be lit up again over there. But that's kind of the next project, is I will be crawling under the table on the Delmenhorst side. the side I cut the hole in, I call that the Bremen side, and then this is the Delmenhorst side, the one that's kind of done up. I'll be crawling under there and starting to work on the Fowler car system. I don't know if I will get to it this weekend, because the other thing is, again, some of you noticed on Facebook. I laid out a whole bunch of model kits. I put up my old work table, and I put up some of my model kits with the idea that maybe I will get my lazy butt back to work and see how well I can do with shaking hands on these. But I've got two really big ones. This actually will go in the city of Delmenhorst. This is going to be modified, so we're going to see how well my customizing skills work. But there's a little corner building in Delmenhorst called it was called City Park Metro, and it was very glass enclosed. Now the actual one in Delmenhorst had a third level of glass. A third level of glass up here. This only had 2 levels, but it was the closest I could come. So it'll be close enough. I will custom make the sign because I can design that on a computer. The City Park logo that went up on that building. There used to be a really good Italian restaurant there called Mamimo. Really good stuff. And then I've had that for a year and a half. This one I've had, I don't know if it's 2.5 years or 1.5 years. I forget, Mike Joyce got it for me Christmas of 18 or Christmas of 19. But this is the station that is meant to be the Bremen/Hanover station because they're all in the similar construction style. So this is a monster. This thing is really big when you get it all built. It's a big thing, and that would go over on, that side. Technically, where I'm pointing, it's on that side, but the picture is there, the camera angle. This will go over there. So this is my, this is a big monster kit. This thing is by far the biggest model I have had, will have, and I'm hoping that, now I've got a few small ones and I've been debating, do I start small and work my way up to the big, or do I start big and work my way to small? I had other small models, but I'm not going to get them all out. They're on Facebook. I've got probably let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 buildings. I've got 9 buildings that have been waiting. I have not built a model building in at least a year and a half. The last thing I built was right before I injured my back, so that would be 2019. I finished the custom-made, the scratch-built Delmenhorst Bus Center. That's the last thing I built on this layout. That's the last modeling construction I've done, other than the 3D printed stuff. So that's what I'm doing. What have you guys all done? Hey, Stuart is here. Hello, Stuart from St. Mary's. And if you guys are not subscribed to Stuart at St. Mary's, go subscribe to Stuart at St. Mary's. He's got an awesome channel. And gorgeous layout, cool trains. Check him out. Hey, David Cook is here now. It's about time, David. You're late. Just kidding. So anyhow, what am I running today? I'm running the usuals. By now you guys should know most of my trains. I switch in a couple, but if you've been here more than 3 or 4 visits, you know all the trains. So I'm still waiting on my ICE4, which has been in the shops since end of April, according to the release dates, and according to Maryland. We've released them, but they're still not in the shops. And I'm still waiting on my ICE2 and ICE3, which are still in California, waiting for the chips. So I'm going to go ahead and get some trains running, and let's flip to scene 3, make me smaller, bring all the cameras up, and y'all can enjoy some trains running and whatever we're going to talk about. But I've got the Austrian Railjet back out. He's had 2 weeks off of rest, so he's back for this week. And I'm running 2 Czech trains again. I've got the Czech Railjet and the Czech EC, the Eurocity as it's called. I got the Czech EC going. So I did about a half-hour test run with everything last night, and I did a 10-minute before show, and everything was running smoothly, so we'll see how everything hangs. Well, hello, Tris. Welcome, and thank you for stopping by. Alan, I loved it. I thought your music and video feed was awesome. I mean, you've got everything. You've got cool trains, cool layout, and you know how to present it well. And you've got a lot of neat angles that you're able to broadcast from. One of my favorite angles, you guys will get to know this if you don't already. I have 2 bizarre passions. I love bridges, and I love fountains. So a lot of train channels will do like us. Green Hill Junction has one. Stewart at St. Mary's has a really cool bridge angle he does. Dudley Central, a couple of guys. Alan at Dragon Junction. Just a couple of bridges where you can get down in there and just film the trains coming through. And I love that. It's awesome. I love seeing the train bridges. Now, why didn't I put a train bridge on my layout? Because there's really no... It's kind of flat in this part of Germany from Delmenhorst to Bremen. Not a lot of bridges, other than over the Weser River, and I was planning on building the Weser River here. I don't know if I'll ever get to that, but I got the rest of my life, however long that is. We'll see. But so yeah, for those of you who see me both on Facebook and on YouTube, yeah, I really have been trying to stop hiding from some of my health issues, and I'm very pleased that I finally traded out this light. So no more blinking. I hope you guys can see that. No more camera blinking. Well, technically I do have one camera that will still blink as it's doing right now, because it's the same exact camera as another camera, and since I've got so many cameras going, my OBS and the CPU on my computer have just a little bit of a disagreement. It doesn't like that many cameras added on. But yeah, just very cool. And last weekend we celebrated my grandson, and of course some of you came in and saw the Sunday show, the Far-Fared Nugan show. Hey, Kieran, there you are. Another structural support. I could probably name about 10 guys that I have talked to for a year and a half now on YouTube chats, where we just all seem to be in the same chats together, and I consider them pillars because it's just not the same when they're not there. So Colin and David Cook and Chris Hales and Kieran and Christopher, these are guys I got to know. Tim JD, can't forget him. And of course, more people have come in. Hey, Jean-Ricard, how are you? Good to have you here. Good to have all of you here. I have been rewiring all the lighting on the exterior of my house, and I finished that this week. New garage lighting, not only taking out the lights, but putting in new wiring. And so now the garage, both inside and out, has security sensor cameras. Put in new lighting on the back door and out our, well, you'd have no idea what I'm talking about, but our house has a front door, which I put new lights in, about 3 weeks ago. And then we have a side door, which is straight up the stairs behind me. Goes straight up those stairs and out the side of the house. Put a new light there in yesterday. And then we have a back patio door, and we have a little patio. on the back side of the house, and I put two new carriage lighting system up there. But all the lights now match, and the house is all lit up. Everything's working. No more blinking. No more craziness. So I'm done with all that. And the last of the lighting things was to replace the blinking light up there, and that's now gone and replaced. So those of you who have just joined, again, if you didn't see on Facebook, I cut a hole. Let's do long view. You can see it here. I cut a hole in my table, made an access point. That lifts up. I can go under there and lift it out easily, at least now. That allows me access to the track up here, so I'm going to be changing some things up there when I get replacement track. And also when I have to work on some things here. So I did it on this side. Eventually I will do it on that side, but not until I'm happy with the follow car system. And then again, I may not do it there. I'll have no jobs to do when I retire. Oh, there'll be jobs to do. But then again, there's things to go back to. When I retire, I've had so many friends who retired who told me, oh, I'm so bored. I really wish I hadn't retired. And they go and get other jobs. And I can't explain to them, that's not me. I've got plenty to do when I retire, including finally just sitting back and taking it easy for a bit. I have been busting my butt since I was 5 years old, and I'm ready to call it quits next year. Andrew Turnage is here. All right, nice to have you. A lot of people that I know uploaded videos this week. I probably should, it's hard to keep up. Somebody on, I think it was Heath on his live stream today, was showing his subscription page, you know, where all the people you're subscribed to list their videos. I have no idea how many channels Heath is subscribed to, but it's a lot. And got the IC2 running again, although he'll probably be parking for next week. Actually, did a little work in Delmenhorst. Not that anybody would notice, but I rearranged some buildings and took some of my silly little track road tape and put more road down just to fill some gaps. I put up a few more trees. I don't know why I do it, because eventually it'll all come down when I go to cement it all in, but hopefully that will go well. But, so yeah, I have finished writing 3 scenes of the new Matt Clark series, if anybody's interested. I don't think I will start posting these until the fall. I don't, you know, I just want to get writing because while I have a general plot, it wasn't that epiphany of artistic creation that I had with the first one, where I wrote the first 5-6 scenes basically in a day. It's more of a work in progress. I have a general plot which is allowing me to write, but the plot branchings, the side plots, the secondary plots are not as clear as they were, so I'm writing slowly to see what develops. I think I've created some funny characters. I've got to find voices. Beethoven, yes, but Beethoven is still on. I'm giving Beethoven another day of work, because he's about the only one that I can remotely justify pulling the Czech Euro cars, and even then that's not really correct. But I've got to get a specific loco to pull the EC. I either need a red 101. I have a 101, but it's on its way to Virginia to get the bogie redone, because I fixed part of the bogie and then a new problem developed, and I give up sending it to a pro. Tried to fix it myself, talked to some people who do American stuff, and Now it's off to a pro. So it's been a productive week, let's call it. Got a lot of things done. We're going with the DB cam first, but yep, there's Beethoven. Jean Ricard, the Fowler car system is the Delmenhorst side. Let's go to it. Village View. That is Delmenhorst, Jean Ricard. That is Delmenhorst. And you could Google the town of Delmenhorst, or I could type it in. Or you could Google Earth it, whatever. So that is Delmenhorst with the actual Delmenhorst station. Could I pull up a picture of the Delmenhorst station, but then you won't really get a good view of that. So the Fowler car system is right there, and it was designed to be the loop of traffic that circles the bus station, in front of the bus station area, but also for the buses, like the red one you see there, that bus to pull in and stop at the bus stops. One of the cool things I have to admit is, all right, let's go with this one. Bada bing. A German company called Rietze, R-I-E-T-Z-E, Rietze, made buses. This is an actual, if you can read that, it says Delmenhorst. They made city buses for all kind, probably 100 cities in Germany or more. They made them, and so I actually have Delmenhorst city buses. This is, I don't know how well that will show up. This is the 204 Anna-Heide, and so I have actually ridden the 204 Anna-Heide many times in Delmenhorst. There's another version of it. Yeah, here's one accessible. This is also by Rietze, R-I-E-T-Z-E, Rietze. This is also a Delmenhorst city bus, but in a different livery. This is the 203 Dwolberg, which I've ridden on. And then in this exact same color scheme is the 201. I just lost it. It'll come to me. Deichhorst, that's it. 201 Deichhorst route. The 201 to Deichhorst. Okay, good. Good, Andrew T. That's good to hear, Karen. Yeah, I got sawdust all over here, so that was me on Facebook. I was vacuuming, and Joyce decided to take pictures of me standing in the middle of my cutout area because a couple of family members and a couple of YouTube friends questioned whether I would fit in that area, and as long as it's wider than your shoulders, you'll fit through it. So I cut it 1.5 inches wider than my shoulders. Now, if I still weigh 290 pounds like I did 2 years ago, then the belly might not have fit through. But since now I weigh about 226, yeah, I fit through easily. What was vacuuming? I wore this thing out. I had to put it back on the charger because, man, it was tired. It was tired. So let's go back to trains. Let's catch up the ramp here. We'll catch the railjet coming, speaking of inclines, coming up the incline, up the ramp. Hello, Z Fantasy Trains. How are you, ma'am? And going in, how many times I've stood on those platforms and watched the trains go by and hopped on trains just like that, double-decker. There we go. Let's get that nice 4K camera showing right here. The view from this camera has a few trees added on the left-hand side. I don't know if anybody knows that with my herd of deer. Have you heard of deer? Yes, I have. So some of the deer are now frolicking in safety. And here's that IC2 on its way to Bremen and from Bremen to Leipzig. Rick R is here. Hi, Rick R. Sorry I missed you. The two Czech trains passing each other. One's a Czech railjet, which should be going a lot faster than it is, but I've got it in slow-mo on the inner loop there. Well, thank you, Z. How are the trains looking, though? Oh, you're talking about the trains, not me. Okay, I'm good. The only downside is my one really old laptop computer that I've had here forever. Windows, I think it was either Windows or some other element of Microsoft, elected to do, well, you know what, we're just going to update it. The computer's on, we're just going to update it. We're just going to go ahead and do it. You don't need to approve it, we'll just do it. And it's completely locked up in a permanent... There's something went wrong during install. We need to reboot your computer. There's something wrong. So they finally locked it up because it was an old computer. It wasn't meant for that new update, which is why I kept telling Microsoft, don't update this. And they updated it, so now it's in the spinning cycle of updating death. So I finally yanked it out. And by the way, Andrew Turnage, you already saw, I think, that I shared your little Wi-Fi joke post. That was funny. I enjoyed that Wi-Fi. That was funny. Hopefully nobody from the Croatian national team finds offense at that, but because I had a good friend, Heinz Bolton in Germany, who passed away Christmas of 2019, right before COVID, had a password very similar to that, which is why it was even funnier to me, is because I used to have to type that password every time I went to Germany and stayed at his house. So I don't know if I'll probably try to work on both the follow car system and building models at the same time. But we'll see. I just can't decide which model. This is the newest model. Now, the model kit itself is old, but this is the newest one. I actually picked this up off eBay about a month ago. Saw this on eBay, and this fits right on one of the blocks heading to the train station in Delmenhorst. This is a perfect building. I already know what shop I'm going to customize this into. It's perfect. So I picked this up. And again, I buy these hoping it will motivate me to start building models again. I know for a fact I can't custom build, but maybe if I spend about an hour or two, maybe only an hour, just gluing main parts together, I should be able to get some models done. But this is a tiny little guy. And normally this would take me about 2 hours to build, if that long. I know I've sat and watched TV in the living room with a little tray and built models like this in an hour. So this would not take me too long to build at all. The only thing I would custom do is I would take out that window right there and wall that in. Because this would go right next to another building and would not have a window there, or would have a much smaller window. Yeah, this is probably it is a 4-number kit. It's a Choo-Choos 4-number kit, which tells me it's pre-1990s, because in 1990s, 2000s they went to 5-number kits. But definitely 70s, because made in West Germany. Made in West Germany. And since there hasn't been a West Germany since 1990, yeah, I would say it's probably a 1970s model kit. Even 60s. I could see that being 60s. I know a lot of the houses that were built in the 50s and 60s in Delmenhorst look like this. Delmenhorst did not suffer a lot of destruction in World War II. It got a little residual damage from the bombing of Bremen, because Bremen was about 9 miles. Bremen is 9 miles, 10 miles east of Delmenhorst. So I know Delmenhorst suffered some collateral damage, let's say. The British occupied it and were there until the early 2000s. I think the first trip I made to Delmenhorst in 2003, I think, was either the last year the British were there or the first year they were gone. There was still a British military presence there into the 2000s. I mean, it had been reducing. Hello, Andy of the Somerset Nature and Variety. Nice to have you here, sir. So we have, where did I put it? Like a Dingledorf, you have lost it. And again, if anybody wants to be a character in the next Matt Clark series, you just need to send me a picture of you that would be, I mean, I obviously don't want you to go out, but either just like a headshot that you give me permission to modify with, and you also give me permission to make your character insane, because everybody in my stories is insane. But if you want to be a character, whether it's just a background character, a crowd member, if you want to, obviously I'd have to tell you who some of the characters are. I've already found pictures of a lot of the new characters, but I have more to go, and this is going to be, the new Matt Clark is going to be, if nothing else, bigger. There's going to be a lot more people. I'm already trying to figure out voices, and that's scary. A little flower decorating stuff. I was just looking to see, definitely 60s and 70s, because you always find these sort of colored inserts back then. There's the instructions. Let's see if the instructions have a date on them. Nope, not that I'm seeing there. For all you yelling about Walters, there's my Choo-Choos. That's how it goes together. So yeah, this would take me, just a couple of years ago, this would have only taken me about an hour, 2 hours to put it all together. If I add clipping all the pieces out, sanding them, and cleaning them, 2 hours. But gluing them together, boom, 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 done real fast. So there's a thought, start small, get my confidence going again, see how bad the shakes get, because I don't want to get in the middle of a big one and the shakes get so bad I can't do it. And then get depressed, but I've done all the other stuff. I handled the wiring pretty good. Um, Doing this light was the last light I did. Now I did 4 lights yesterday, all new wiring, as well as installing new light kits. So all new wiring. The only one I didn't put new wiring in was this one. I just attached this to the existing wiring. But some of our wiring is, it's still code, but it's outdated. And with putting new stuff on it, I just wanted to get rid of some of the insane wiring the previous homeowner had done. And some of the wiring was just original to the house, and it just made sense to get rid of some of the redundancies, eliminate a couple of junction boxes, and just run one line and then split it at one place instead of running it here and splitting it at 3 different places. So I've been cleaning up and streamlining the electrical wiring to my house. No, Chris, you don't have to shave your beard. In fact, you could be a character with your beard. Nobody has to shave a beard. I did find a new Matt Clark image, so those of you used to the actor Jim Davis, most famous to anybody of an age, especially Americans. If you remember the old TV show Dallas, he was the father of J.R. Ewing and Bobby Ewing. He played their father, but Jim Davis was a character actor, bit actor, but in the actual TV show he played Matt Clark. And so I just used him and penciled in the mustache. But again, if you don't have a beard and you're a man, maybe even if you're a woman, and you want to send in a portrait shot or something like that, and be a character, if you do it, all you have to do is go to my YouTube page and get my email, and you can send me a little image of yourself, and I will turn it into a character. Yes, if you have an electrician to help you with some of that, good. Because I can wire a house, and I understand how to wire a layout, but because I do Americlan and everything, the whole point of my Americlan C-Track system, even the Central Station 3, the whole point of that is to eliminate the wiring. To eliminate as much wiring as you can. Even to put motors on my turnouts, as I've shown a few times, I don't have to drop stuff under the table. Everything, as I keep showing you, is built in underneath the track. So this is completely wired in. This is my turnout. And, well, let me go back to the image I just turned off. This is the turnout. This is a basic turnout. This is a right-hand turnout. Okay. Notice it's metal all the way through. So you got your frog point, or whatever you want to call it there, but and they do have little splits there, and you can hand control it if you want. I think you guys can see it down there. But there's a motor. There's the decoder. And then the signal goes through those little clips there. So you can see the motor is wired to the decoder. The motor, the green, blue, and yellow wire to the decoder from the motor, or from the motor to the decoder to the motor, whichever way you want to do it. And then you get 2 power clips. You got a brown and red power clip here, and then you got a third yellow line that comes over here, and that's the one that sends the signal from my central station to turn the motor. So I just click a button on my central station and it operates. So no dropping, no bus wiring, it all works under the track. Hey, Jean Ricard, if you got a cowboy hat and want to put a cowboy hat on, go for it. I'm not picky. I will do whatever. I've got characters, and I'm going to be creating, and trust me, I would love to sit here and tell you a lot of the new characters, because there's a lot of new characters and there's going to be some surprises. Smokey's going to be fun again. We'll just say that Series 2 takes place a few months after Series 1. And again, of course, when you're creating this stuff, the issue is it's always hard to do a sequel. And I know I talked about before, it's always hard to do a sequel because the jokes that were funny can get very old very fast if you just keep repeating them. You know how many shows did that? There was a show in America in the 70s, Good Times, and it was funny the first 100 times that JJ did dynamite, but then it got old. What you talking about, Willis? There, jokes can get old really fast, and sometimes the guy telling the joke, the theory is write it and milk it for all you can. Write it and milk it, and I don't want to do that. I want to honor the old jokes, so some of the old jokes will be back, but I just can't do another 10, 15, 18 episodes of this is done a lot. She looks like she has, it was funny, and you don't want to completely walk away from it, but you don't want to just keep harping on the joke. Actually, Nellie's Pass is a geological feature, so it's there, but all the story is happening west of Nellie's Pass. I did create a new map. I don't think I have it accessible on this computer, but I do have I've extended the map westward. So the story is going to happen west and northwest of Big Gulch. The original story was Big Gulch and then north and east. The new story is west and northwest. All new places. Still, Big Gulch will be part of it, but this is probably, if I could actually say it, a more convoluted plot. Because it's like 3 different plot lines coming together. And I haven't decided how I'm going to resolve it, and that's one of the differences of writing this time. When I knew some of the jokes, and I knew how I was going to end the first Matt Clark when I wrote scene 1 and 2, and then 3, 4, 5 all together. I knew the jokes. I had jokes patterned out, the blowing up joke and the references to that, the 5-finger Bill jokes and all that. That was all set in there in stone. It was like the whole story came to me with moderations as I built it out. This one, I have sort of a general framework, and I don't quite know where I'm going to end it yet. It can't end with another train blowing up. That just would be... And the plot has to involve trains. I mean, I have to justify it being on my model train channel. As long as I don't name you Mad Dog Tanner. Deal. Yeah, everybody has their pre-bedded track. There's Bachman Easy Track, Atlas Easy Track, because I think Atlas and Bachman they're very similar. Rocco has theirs, Pico, P-I-K-O, the German Pico has their pre-bedded easy track. And Cato for N-Scale definitely is very much plug and play, which is what Mericklin C-Track is. Now, having said that, Mericklin C-Track is the modern iteration, the modern version of Meriklin's original track called M-Track, which was originally tin and aluminum. And so I will say this sort of idea is by Mericklin, predates the Kato stuff. But definitely, let's face it, this is the one thing I don't get. Why, for example, again, I'll reference Heath and Steve Childers. Oh, that sounds cool, Andy. The English Riviera Express. That sounds fun. On Steam. Look cool. That really sounds cool. But like Heath and a couple of channels were talking about control systems, and again, I don't know these things; they're not my thing. But there's like NEC versus Digitrax and JMRI and how that works and how they all, and that's all Greek to me because I don't need to know it. Because American, everything's in my central station. But why an American company like Atlas or somebody has not invented a, I don't want to use the word simple in a negative way. I want to use it positively. A simple, good control system that does everything, especially if you want to go to DCC or if you're DC and want to go to DCC, that just puts it all in one system. Yes, my Central Station 3 is $600, $700 if you buy the deluxe one. But when you look at how much you're spending on controllers and then the computer programs and blah, 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 my Central Station 3 does it all. My Central Station 3 does blocking. Now, I haven't wired my system for blocking, but I can do track diagram and blocking and detection all in my Central Station 3. I don't have to go buy a controller. Now, I know guys like Jim at Hover Motion. He has a Z21 and an ECOS, and an ECOS and a Central Station 3, although they look a little different, are basically the same thing because ECOS designed the original Central Station and Central Station 2. And then he turns around and he also uses JMRI and rail control and all these to really, and to me, there's clearly redundancies, but if that's how you set it up, that's awesome. But you could do so much of it straight through a Central Station 3 for me, and to be honest, Central Station 3 is probably overkill for what I'm doing because I'm not programming my track, I'm not programming runs, I'm just running trains. The only reason I have Central Station 3 instead of just using this handheld controller, which is $100, is because it's just easier to control multiple trains. I mean, I can control 60 trains at one time with this. 60, 50, maybe it's 50 trains with this at one time. But you have to constantly dial through it. With the Central Station 3, I can pull up a list and have 10 or 12 of them across my screen at one shot. So it just seems, it's just easier to control multiple trains. And plus, when you get the computer app, then you can control 10 on this screen and 10 more on that screen and 10 more on that screen. And it's just, it's all good that way. A ferry over to Dartmouth. There goes that creepy Beethoven right below. Every time he goes by, it's just, hello, everybody. So not a lot of color variation today. Sometimes I like to just have as many different colors of trains. I didn't go for a great color variation today. There he is. We'll catch him coming this way now. I see you. there's the Austrian Railjet, Czech Railjet, and the IC2. IC2, not ICE, IC. Okay. But yeah, I love the paint scheme. I'd love to get the Mozart one. Love the paint scheme and the sound on the Taurus. Huh. Okay. So let's go back to the multi-view. Bing! Yes, hello. Aha! I've got a character for you already, Jean Ricard. I may be giving you a mustache, but I got a character for you. But yes, the hey Luma, Ave Luma. Yes, the yeah, my email address is the one that's on Facebook and on YouTube. It is my email address. I mean, I have my model train site address, but yeah, so you have both. Gotta make sure I send the right one. There we go. Ping, 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 ping. But, yeah, I've got, it's going to have a lot more characters. That's one of the tricks, is I got to find new voices. Several key characters are coming back. Certain characters obviously aren't. Bobby the Kid is gone. Walter Down is gone, obviously. Annie Jewel is gone. Joyce has got a couple of characters I'd rather Joyce voice. Say that 3 times fast. Joyce voice, Joyce voice, Joyce voice. You did your taxes and you had to pay. Do I need a picture of somebody riding a horse with an umbrella? I can make it work. I can make any picture work as long as it's not a punk rocker from the 80s or something like that, where I can fit it into 1890s Old West, you know, this mock Arizona, New Mexico area. I have not defined where it is. It just says Western Territories. It's sort of a fictional alternate universe, United States of America, Western Territories. Other than Rusty Twanger's family still around. My wife and kids are nagging me to do more of the Rusty Twanger family. They want to see me, and they want to see me do it, like become the character. I'd have to get the makeup and stuff like that. You know, I did Buster Twanger. Well, I find you use the umbrella to make the horse stop. Whoa! No, that's totally wrong. That's animal abuse, and it's not funny. Except when you're blowing up cows on a train. That's hilarious. I come from the Yosemite Sam Warner Brothers School of Animal Care. When I say whoa, Kimmel, I mean whoa! Okay. We're all good. There we go. Yes, Andy, the Gauge Master, another very common one. And again, my Central Station 3 allows me, I have a tablet or my phone. I can control all my trains with a tablet, with a smartphone on my computer. Lady Godiva. I'd have to do a pun. And to be honest, I think besides just trying to really fine-tune and polish the new plot, the hardest thing is coming up with new names and then having... Because not only did I give characters new names, there's jokes that went with the names that I played out. You know, that the woman who ran a cat house, the cat house madam, her name was Donna Lott. I mean, we all know the joke there, and it worked. It made sense. Even Daisy, most people love Daisy, but Daisy Cockett, there's a pun with her name and who she was and what she did. Chris, news on the ICE-4? No. Merrickland says they were shipped out at the end of April. All the stores say available May, and it's the end of June, and still no sight of them. So somebody must have hijacked all of them from the factory in Hungary to Germany. The only thing I could say might be an issue is that I was reading in the news in Germany that several rail warehouses and trucking warehouses are very understaffed because of COVID outbreaks and other issues. So that might be that the freight is just building up. It's sitting in the yard somewhere. We're not waiting for China. Merrickland does not build stuff in China. Merrickland builds it in Hungary or in Germany. Yes, Lil McGill will still be in series 2, clearly. The Nancy jokes are pretty much done. We're going to have a couple of backwards Nancy jokes. Yeah, it's Lil Damn It is kind of is a retired phrase for the most part. No, it's Lil Damn It jokes. So at least so far on the first 3 scenes I've written. No, it's little damage jokes. In fact, it's been the opposite. Um, Now, you got to remember, Walter Down was the owner and the main barkeeper of the Filthy Glass Saloon. He's dead. So you're going to meet the new owners of the. You're going to meet the new owners of the Filthy Glass Saloon, and they're a pair. I almost said their names, and I don't want to. And the new barkeeper, because the owners have hired a barkeeper, a new barkeeper. Walter Down was both owner and barkeeper at the Filthy Glass, but the new owners are just owners, and they've hired a barkeeper. If it's in the West, it could be based around an earthquake. I had not considered an earthquake. I definitely could write one in, but we do have a plot that involves a train. But, Matt Clark is a railroad detective. It's crimes regarding trains. Well, we already had Bobby the Kid who's going to steal a train, and then he blew it up. And the repercussions of that are part of the plot line for Series 2. So it still involves trains and crimes involving trains, but when I first decided maybe to write, I was going to do sort of a Murder on the Orient Express American style, and I just found I was being very derivative. I was just copying The Cheap Detective, Murder by Decree, Bullshot Drummond, and there was another parody of Murder on the Orient Express. And I just felt like it was hard to justify having all the old characters on that train. So I finally resisted that plot. Finally, a new plot came to me. Joyce actually kind of helped steer me in the right direction as to an idea for the new plot, and that got the juices going in. So I've got a basic plot. I just haven't decided exactly how it's going to end, because the two ways it ends could be interpreted. Let's put it this way. When J.R.R. Tolkien wrote Lord of the Rings, and it came out in the 1950s, because it was good and bad, and the evil was coming from the east, many people interpreted it as an allegory for either Germany and England in World War I and II, or the new Russian threat to the world. The bad guys come out of the east. And Tolkien hated that interpretation. He hated allegory. And so I don't want any story, and the two endings I'm coming up with, I could see people start immediately applying it to very specific events that are going on, current events in the United States, let's say, and I don't want it being interpreted that way. I want it to be free of any, he's making fun of me. That's why the first series worked so well. I'm making fun, but I didn't make fun of specific people. I didn't make fun of Native Americans. I didn't make stereotype jokes about Native Americans. Daisy is an Native American. Chief eyes that, or not Chief eyes that cross, her uncle eyes that cross. That's not making fun of American Indians. That was making fun of the guy's vision. So if anybody would feel bad, it'd be somebody with crossed vision. That's what I was trying not to make, where it's just I'm making fun of the individual and not a group of people. But we're going to have more Indians, more U.S. cavalry, and then we're going to have just all sorts of funny stuff. I've already got the main villain, and some of you won't get the jokes with the main villain, so I'll have to explain it, and then maybe you can backlog it. Yes, Luma, you're late. I fixed the light. Yes, I fixed the light, Luma. Nope, not that one. Not that one. That one. So yes, I cut my little access panel out here, And I have brilliantly disguised it. I mean, if you look at that, you can't tell. Pink snow and a little trees and some gray buildings. You'd never know I cut an access panel out there. But I cut an access panel and I changed out the blinking light and I replaced a lot of track up there, but not the tricky turnout because I thought I had a spare and I don't. I thought I had an extra one of those turnouts and I don't, so I have to buy one. And Joyce actually wanted to just go for a ride. Joyce wanted to get in the car and drive for a few hours, and she was thinking we'd go east to the closest model train shop for us, and I just woke up Thursday and wasn't in the mood to do it. Otherwise, I would have had the new turnout. It's a miracle. So yeah, it's funny. It's funny, Luma, going back to the ICE4. It's just very weird because I belong to so many German Märklin sites, Facebook and YouTube, and nobody is saying, look what I got. Nobody has it. The shops don't have it. So where it is, I don't know. I'm worried that they might have had a recall they're not announcing because that's why they keep delaying it. They've had some technical issues in making it. And I'm to the point where I might cancel my reservation and go buy the Pico one, but I don't want to do that. I want the Märklin. Hey Ray, how are you? Work finally gave you a bit of a breather. Well, that's good to hear. Jean Ricard, you mean model train companies? Competition between model train companies? There's definitely that. And I'm loyal to Märklin, but if Märklin doesn't have what I have and Pico does, Pico, P-I-K-O, or Roco, or Jägendorfer Collection has it, then yeah, I'll buy it from them. I prefer, because I do believe in my heart that like Roco stuff works best with Roco control system and Roco track. And the Märklin stuff works best with the Märklin control system. They all work. The E-Cost covers everybody. You can be an American guy running your American trains and have an E-Cost and control everything on your layout. You can get a Central Station 3 and control all your trains. As long as they have a decoder, you can put them in your Central Station 3. The Central Station 3 will read the decoder. Now, you'd have to probably learn how to go in and add your own pictures and all that into it because they have a database that's based on Märklin trains. So if I add a Roco train or a Pico train, it doesn't have a picture for it. The database has all the Märklin trains and images. But, so like when I put my Railjet in it, I have to add the picture of my Railjet. Yeah, I've heard that too. Everybody loved the Pico one when it came out, but about 6 months after it came out in 2019, by Christmas, January of 2020, people were saying I'm having issues with the Pico one. So, yeah, that's why I've been waiting for the Märklin, but this is why Märklin keeps delaying it. They've had production issues with it. Hey, Roy, how are you? Nice to have you here. Well, I appreciate you popping in. Ewan, nice to have you. Got some people popping in. Hey, we're up to 22 today. Cool. But so I'm not such a Märklin snob that I won't buy non-Märklin stuff. Now, I am a snob about some things. For example, Pico's hobby level locomotives, they're a waste of time to me. They're crap. Having said that, I know that because I bought a couple of them and finally sold them off or gave them away and bought a Märklin version. Oh, I get it now. I'm with you now, Jean Ricard. Railroad competition as a story. That's kind of involved. Again, I don't want to give away the plot. I do have a plot. I just haven't decided how I'm going to end it yet. I know who the villains are. I know what they're going to do. And I know, but I just haven't decided the grand finale ending, because part of it is if I don't have this really spectacular ending, then the ending of Matt Clark 1, everybody's going to say, oh, it wasn't as good an ending as Matt Clark 1. But I can't have another shootout, train blow up, the way I did the denouement, the resolution of the Matt Clark Series 1. So, I'm not going to have a cliffhanger ending, but at the same time, you have to go a different direction. Sort of like Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, where Star Wars was much simpler and lighter, and this one got more serious. Now, I'm not going to get more serious. The humor is there, but I just can't imitate the plot again. And so I can't imitate the ending again. And so that's just it. I know who the villains are. I know why they're up to what they're going to do. I know what they're doing. How Matt Clark is going to get involved. It's just how am I going to resolve all the conflicts. And I don't want to, that's why I've only written 3 scenes so far, because I don't want to write like I did with Matt Clark, where I wrote jokes that I knew would play out at the end. In this case, because the end is kind of blind, I'm not setting up the long-running jokes. I've set up a couple. One that involves Smokey. If you guys hated Smokey in the first episode, I think you're really going to hate him now. Or the first series. Maybe, Luma. My little because titles, if you haven't caught it, all my live streams start with because and then some kind of a reference, either a song reference or TV show reference that I just stick onto it. Yes, we are going to meet another member of the Sumbish family, Ray. And speaking of Sumbish, again, where is it? I can do this one. Get your new vote for Silas D. Sumbish. He's running for mayor of Big Gulch in 92. The right Sumbish for the job. So that came in on Tuesday this week. This came in Tuesday. But I've got some Silas D. Sumbish shirts. So my daughter designed these. I think this is awesome. I kind of like the design of the other one because it's got a bigger catchphrase, running phrase with it. But yeah, I just finally found your store, Ray. I had to go on your webpage and catch your links to it. So let's go back to the trains. Oh, everybody's leaving it. All right, let's see, DB4K. Andy, Somerset Andy, I would say I like The Cure. I'm not a huge fan of The Cure, but I like a lot of their songs. Let's get off of this. I'm not a huge fan of The Cure, but I do have quite a list of songs from The Cure I do like. But yeah, you definitely have days where certain music, I wake up and I have certain days where it's going to be Beatles. I'm just going to play Beatles all day. Other days it's going to be a Led Zeppelin day or just a heavy metal day. You just, sometimes it's just the 80s, sort of Elvis Costello, the Pretenders, the early Pretenders, which I loved. And then their first album back after the two guitarists died. Middle of the road. And then after that, I just think they went downhill as she became a bit of a power tripper. Think you saw the dark side of the moon today. I had to run. Don't stand so close to me. Today is it. Marillion, there's an old name. Marillion live at the Albert Hall. Um, I've been listening to a lot of sweet and 70s glam rock bands and related. Um, I can't tell you how many times in the last couple of weeks I played Blitzkrieg. Ballroom Blitz, that's it. Ballroom Blitz. I have played Ballroom Blitz a lot the last few weeks. I just keep playing it and watching the videos of it. Paul McCartney released a new album recently and just released a new song and video this week. It's an interesting song. It's a little rockier than he's released in the last 20 years. It had a little more rock edge to it. Of course, they're re-releasing George Harrison's All Things Must Pass. They just re-released it, 50th anniversary. A great album. AC/DC, another great band, whether it's Bon Scott or Brian Johnson lead singing. Again, and obviously they've had a couple of deaths recently in the band. But 70s through mid-late 90s, I love AC/DC. Not everything, but a lot. I love a lot of American country music, but I don't like, and this may offend some of my southern and western fans, I don't like any American country music since the 1980s. I like old American country music. The poppy country, and the fake country, as I call it, that is now out there. I mean, to me, it's the same thing as country music. The people who perform country music today are me no different than the Britney Spears and the Katy Perrys and the Jennifer Lopez's in pop music. They're just a bunch of fakes, and I can't get into them. I like Don Williams. I like Western wise. I like Marty Robbins, the Statler Brothers. I like old country. I like a lot of Hank Williams Jr. songs. Can't stand the human. He was a rotten human. But same with Merle Haggard. Love a lot of Merle Haggard, but as a human, he was a bit of a jerk. Yeah, I just don't like modern country. Any country, I can't even listen to modern country. From Tim McGraw to Blake Shelton, to me, it all sounds the same. And it all sounds like crap. Deep Purple, all the iterations. I don't even have a Deep Purple playlist. I have a, oh crap. What do I call the playlist? Richie Blackmore. Any band Richie Blackmore was in. So I've got Rainbow and Saga and Blackmore and Deep Purple, and I just got this massive playlist of all the various Richie Blackmore bands. Roy Clark, Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash is so cool. He can take a Nine Inch Nails song and make it awesome. And he makes it so awesome that even Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails says he prefers Johnny Cash's version to his version of the song Hurt. Oh my God. I can't watch that video because I cry. If anybody knows Johnny Cash's version of the Nine Inch Nails song's Hurt, I can't watch that video. I cry. Because June Carter Cash is in that video, and that's the last time she appeared in front of a camera before she passed away. She dies 3 months after that video was made, and he dies like almost 9 months, 10 months after that video was made. The girl in the corner lets no one ignore because she thinks she's the passionate one. Oh, yeah. The sad thing is, The band Sweet is still around, but only the one guitarist is alive. Of the original four guys in Sweet, the lead singer, the drummer, and the lead guitarist are dead. Just the bass player is still around. And he has all these other guys, but three of the four guys in Sweet are dead. Which is really bad because I was watching them, a video they did in 2016 while they were in Germany. And they were performing in front of the Brandenburg Gate. And they were lip syncing to the original, they were clearly lip syncing to the original album version of Ballroom Blitz. It's like, you know, it's only one guy's the same there. Why are you lip syncing to the original? At least record new vocals if you're going to lip sync. I can understand having to lip sync in that situation, I guess. I don't like it when people lip sync live. Play it live. If you mess up, you mess up. We all mess up. I mean, I'm a musically, when I talk about music, I don't have genres of music I like. I do have a couple I don't like. I like songs in specific genres. My favorite band is the Beatles, followed by the Who and Pink Floyd. I'm also a huge U2 fan up until 1990. After 1990, I really don't like much U2 has done, but up to 1990, 91, 92, I like U2. But I like a lot of the British Invasion bands. I like a lot of 60s pop rock. I like psychedelic rock of the 60s into the 70s. There's a lot of that music I like. I'm not a huge Rolling Stones fan. There's probably 20 Rolling Stones songs I love, but overall, I can't stand the Stones. To me, they were always fake. They were a bunch of spoiled, rich, pampered boys that tried to act like they were hard asses. Well, the Beatles do love songs, so let's do hard ass songs. And, you know, I don't know if anybody catches in the media. There's been a little bit of a feud because Mick Jagger for a while has been claiming the Stones were the greatest band of all time, and finally Paul and Ringo have come out and said, "Dude, you couldn't carry our jock straps when it was real," and that's true. You know, people looking back on this say, "Oh yeah, the Stones and the Beatles were equal." No, they weren't. The Beatles were up here, and everybody else was down here. Whether you like the Beatles or not, it doesn't matter. It's just like I'm not a fan of Elvis Presley. I'd rather listen to Carl Perkins and Lieber and Stroller than Elvis Presley because they wrote most of his big songs. But I respect the influence. There would be no Beatles without Elvis. There would be no Beatles without Elvis. So I respect Elvis. Do I think the Beatles surpassed him? Yes. But the Stones, on the other hand, the Stones are always going to be behind the Beatles in terms of quality. You know, quantity doesn't make up for quality. My layout says that, right? I have a lot of nice trains, but I don't have a great layout. So I can respect, even if I don't like a band, they might have a song or two. I mean, I hate a lot of gangster rap, but there's a lot of it I like. I love rhythm and blues, old rhythm and blues. There's a lot of stuff today they call rhythm and blues that is sort of like watered down hip hop. I don't like a lot of hip hop, but every now and then there's a hip hop song that comes out, I like it. But I like my music to have some integrity to it. That's why I'm never into these people where there's like 5 guys in a room writing their music. Now, having said that, I like the Monkees. But my favorite Monkee songs are the songs they wrote, not the ones that were written for them. I'm a huge Mike Nesmith fan of the songs he wrote for the Monkees. The Moody Blues, some awesome stuff. Now, of course, you got to separate the first album, Moody Blues, from then when they shook the band up and Justin Hayward came in and John Locke. John Locke and Justin Hayward came in after the first album. And, yeah, the Moody Blues have a couple of their epic operatic albums that are awesome. The Moody's, classic Moody's. I didn't like a lot of the stuff they did in the mid-70s. But when they came back with The Voice is one of my favorite songs. I love the song. Oh, Pure Cult. And then there's, yeah, well, now Blue Oyster Cult, because there's The Cult, and then there's Blue Oyster Cult, and both fans call the group The Cult. I like The Cult, but I love Blue Oyster Cult. But Blue Oyster Cult's just fun. No, it's not true. The Monkees could play their instruments. And they did 2 albums where they did play their instruments. Headquarters and Pisces, Capricorn, Sagittarius, and Jones Limited. They played all the instruments on it. Now, when they first came out, Mickey could barely drum, and he had to learn how to drum. Davey was not a musician. Davey couldn't play. Davey did learn to play basic chords on a guitar later on. But Mike Nesmith and Peter Tork were musicians. And Mickey did learn to play adequate drums. But, so the Monkees could play and could have played. In fact, they did do live concerts where they did play their instruments. I would never call Mickey Dolenz, I don't even know if you'd call him a respectable drummer, but he was adequate. He could do the job with the type of music they played. But the Monkees, I do like a lot of stuff the Monkees where they did it themselves. Yes, I like some of the stuff like Last Train to Clarksville, which is a ripoff of Day Tripper. Mickey Dolenz was an actor, because basically you had Davy Jones was a Broadway, well, actually, what do you call it in London? What do you call, like in America we call it Broadway, where you sing the musicals in that. It's Soho or East End. Davy was a teenage, what in America we call a Broadway performer. In fact, Davy Jones sings, he became famous in America at first for doing Oliver. And the very first time the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan, if you ever go watch the full episode, when the Beatles were introduced, February 9th, 1964, Davy Jones sings before the Beatles come out. He sings from Oliver. I think he played the Artful Dodger, but Davy Jones is on the same show. So he was a singer, but he was an actor-performer. So Mickey was the only one who had no musical background. He was circus boy when he was a kid in the 50s. No, I proposed to Joyce with the Beatles, Why Don't We Do It in the Road in the background. No, that's just a joke. There was no music in the background when I proposed to Joyce. I proposed at a restaurant. She knew it was coming. It was no surprise. We dressed up, went to the restaurant. We went out on our first date. And so she knew. There was no surprise. Will you marry me? Yeah, we already talked about it. But that was, speaking of which, Joyce should be coming down here anytime soon. West End, okay. We did, so yeah, I mean, and they fought that stigma their whole lives. Now, I have a stigma against the Monkees because they were a throw-together band. They didn't come together naturally and work their talent. And that showed by the way they didn't get along. You know, the way they fought each other. Now, the Who were famous for fighting each other. But when it was time to do the music, they put it aside and they worked together, and they also loved each other. But then you got the bands like, well, Oasis, where the two brothers won't talk to each other anymore, but that's a dysfunctional family all the way back. The Kinks, the two brothers. Creed's Clearwater Revival is a band where they just, it was John and everybody else, and they hated, the three his brother and the two other guys in the band screwed him. All right, Ray, take care. All right, so you were talking about the cult. But yeah, I think the Monkees had good. The really bubblegum stuff, like Herman's Hermits. Yes, there are some songs that are fun to sing along with, but I had no respect for Herman's Hermits. I liked Freddie and the Dreamers. Freddie was just funny. He passed away a few years ago, but Freddie from Freddie and the Dreamers was just such a lovable chap. You couldn't. How could you not like Freddie? You know, and the Do the Freddie. I was never. The Dave Clark Five. I like a few Dave Clark Fives, but I never was a big fan of the Dave Clark Five. Joyce is a heavy metal girl. Joyce is a headbanger, more so than I was. I've become more of a headbanger over the years, but she is a Led Zeppelin girl. She rocks out to Led Zeppelin. If we crank up the Led Zeppelin, she's headbanging. I tried to get her to sing my one Led Zeppelin parody song, and she wouldn't do it though. She decided her voice couldn't handle it. And to be honest, I think that was probably my best singing performance. That's not saying anything. Crap is crap. It's just it was the best of the worst. Oh, we just had everybody on 11 lanes. So, here we go. We'll go up the ramp. Yeah, I know the Honeycombs. Yes, the Honeycombs. Oh, yeah. I remember the Honeycombs. And the Serial Honeycombs, too, but that's a different story. I'll tell you one of my favorite, I can't call them a favorite band, but a band I love that just died so quickly, and there's a reason behind that, the Easy Beats. Oh, Somerset Andy is going with Mr. Sandman by the Chordettes. I've got a few bands, all-female bands. Maybe we should just branch there, start naming great all-female bands. The Runaways were good, but they were underage. Now, of course, when the Runaways came out, I was the same age. So a 17-year-old girl up there wearing a corset was puberty city for me. But Joan Jett was in the Runaways. Cherry Bomb will always be one of my favorite hard rock songs. But yeah, we could talk about just all-girl bands. And of course, you get a lot from the Motown era and the American Top 40 era, the 1950s. Yes, the Honeycombs had a girl drummer, if I remember, who was actually a great drummer. She doesn't get enough credit. I forget her name, but actually a great drummer. But the Easy Beats. If you don't know the Easy Beats, maybe you know the song Friday on My Mind. I love Friday on My Mind. One of my favorite songs out of the 60s, Friday on My Mind. I forgot to finish that thought with the Easy Beats. But sadly, like a lot of bands, they got a little popular, especially down under, and drugs and alcohol kicked in, and he had some issues, and it kind of ruined the band. And then he went into rehab in the 70s, and he got put into a psychiatric hospital, and he was tortured. The doctor who ran the psych hospital got his medical license taken away and was put in jail because he was torturing his patients. Electrical torture and all sorts of just horrible things. And he did electroshock therapy to Stevie Wright, the lead singer of the Easy Beats, which destroyed his voice for several years. And then he tried to make a comeback in the 80s, but it was never the same, and he wound up going back to drugs and alcohol and killing himself. We have a guest speaker here today, ladies and gentlemen. I'll put that there, and you got the little computer there.
I do.
Bananarama had a couple of songs. Oh yeah, let's get your camera on you. Is that centered enough? No. There you are, now you're in.
Alright, hi everybody.
Do we have a 5x5 on Joyce?
We're talking music.
We were talking music. I was trying to get them to steer into all-girl bands.
Why?
I mentioned the Runaways. Oh, just to be different.
Yeah, alright.
And when I say all-girl bands, I know there were, like we could talk about the Supremes, all-girl band, but I'm talking bands where they weren't just singers and singing songs other people wrote for them, where they played instruments and performed. He's trying to sneak that one in now. Why is yours so far behind?
Yeah, it always is.
That's because this is the live feed.
Yeah. I mean, everything about this computer.
We were talking about that you're a Led Zeppelin headbanger.
Yeah. No, yeah. Perfect.
Been a long time since I rock and roll. Been a long time since I did the stroll. Don't you get back, don't get back. Baby, where I come from.
That was the alternative to disco. Because, I suffered through disco through my
Been a long time. Oh,
elementary years.
Disco. I hate disco. See, that's another. I hate disco.
Sean, he's lying. Yeah. I'm passable.
She can sing, and there are songs she has a very beautiful voice. There are some songs where she's better than me, but not by much.
Man.
Yeah, Jean Ricard, if you go back to all my parody songs, if you hear a decent voice, it's her.
Right.
I still love her. Her singing on "Stuck at a Train Show with You," based on Steeler Wheels' "Stuck in the Middle with You," is awesome. Also, her "Digital Killed the Analog Guy." That's great singing. "Digital Killed the Analog Guy." Go check that video out. She's awesome.
Man.
She does a great version of "Digital Killed the
Anyway,
the Digital
John,
Guy,"
you can decide
or
for
the analog guy.
yourself. Chris's voice of an angel is just buttering me up for some bizarre reason. I used maybe just sticking it to Anthony. I don't know. Where did Alice Cooper get his name?
Well, I thought he got the Alice from Alice Through the Looking Glass. The
Wonderland.
Carol stuff, but other than that, I don't remember. Love a lot of Alice Cooper songs. Never a huge fan of Alice Cooper.
Sure, you could Google it.
I think he knows the answer.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Alan said hi.
Hi, yeah. I said hi to everybody.
Yeah, how bad does Ireland feel?
Otherwise, it feels like I'm picking favorites.
How bad is Ireland feeling that the Welsh team, the Scottish team, and the English team all got into the World Cup and Ireland didn't?
The Euro Cup.
The Euro Cup, I'm sorry, not the World Cup, the
That's
Euro
different.
Cup. Well, it's easier to get into the Euro than The World Cup is 100
Yeah,
190 teams. Euro Cup is 40 teams,
Right.
30 teams, whatever it is. Alice Cooper was a famous, from a Ouija board. No, Alice Cooper was a famous witch.
Oh, okay.
I probably heard that in my youth, but forgot it.
I don't know. So, yeah, it's
Yeah,
raining.
Beethoven's working pretty good today. He's creeping people out again, but he's working.
He's creeping people out.
Yeah, because he goes by, those
His
little eyes go through.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I kind of
You know,
thought
it's
that when I
like-
first saw it too, but yeah. Yeah,
I see you.
it's been raining. It's finally, we got a break here, but we have over an inch of rain already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who are your guys? Who are your Irish comedians that were trying to figure out who they were going to root for?
Oh,
Well, they're Irish.
Foil, Arms, and Hog.
Yeah.
Foil, Arms, Foil, and Hog. I forget which one. Irish comedians. I love them.
Yeah, they were trying to figure out who they should root for. 'Cause
Yeah. They did a
Ireland
routine
wasn't
on who to
for
root
the-
for.
Who to root for? They had a reason not to for most of them. It was
Oh, you
cute.
can't root for them because they're too good.
Yeah, they're too good. Yeah, that's a reason.
You know, you can't be a bandwagon fan. All right. Let me see if it's the. Let's go. Oh wait, there it is. There it is. There it is. Foil, Arms, and Hog. Foil, Arms, and Hog. Anybody know them?
Oh, all the trains are locomotive first. Your trains are usually locomotive first, aren't they?
Is that Jean Ricard again?
Yeah, it is.
Jean Ricard, stop it.
Huh.
He wants me to run them control cab. He wants me to run them control cab, and I won't
Why?
because they go both ways. That's the whole
They
point
do
of a
go
control.
both ways.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
They're like that. They go both ways.
Well, apparently in Anthony's
I'm sorry, my
rail,
trains
they
only
would
go one way.
on,
It
not
pleases
much
my
in the
aesthetic.
road. Whatever. All right, well, you can fix that. Anyway, he wants some alternating lanes. So apparently that's just one step too many to put it so it go local first.
Yeah, well, I can't run the Red Regio control car first because that pushes on the bad coupler.
Right, yeah. Some of them, they're
there
going
were-
this way for a reason.
The Czech railjet can go
Yeah.
the other way.
Yeah,
Beethoven doesn't have a.
See, it ruins. It doesn't
Story
have
wagon.
it. Yeah, it doesn't have a story wagon on it.
The
Beethoven only goes
the
one way.
IC2 can go reverse. The IC2 could go Steuerwagen. Maybe someday I'll do it just as a bit, but the metronome can go control cab
Railjet
first.
can go both.
Railjet can go both ways, but again,
Yeah.
it's such a long push. They handle it. I mean, the railjet easily could go the other direction. It's probably the easiest one.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
well,
just it's a long push going uphill.
Yeah. Okay. It's something to be fixed, Sean. It's just I think instinctive to put the local front.
As an American, this has been
Oh.
this has been a weekly observation by Jean.
Well, yeah.
Now
alright.
Now Jean, a couple of weeks ago I ran 3 of them in reverse. One of them messed up, but I did run 2 of them in
It
reverse
discouraged
just for
him.
you. I ran it just for you. I hope you paid attention. I did run them backwards for a while just for you.
So, now you guys notice no blink.
Yeah, Luma came in and praised it.
Yeah. It doesn't match. It's like twice.
They can't see. All they see is light.
I know.
but
It's like
no
twice
more
the
blinking.
size.
No more little flashing light here.
Right.
It's all gone.
So, well, it all was about the hole. We had to put the hole. It's just so fun to hear the panic in the voice. Oh, about
Me, when I like, no,
wait,
stop it.
it's
Yeah.
alright. It's all okay. Yeah, it was all about the hole. So,
No, Jean Ricard, I won't run my trains backwards. No, Jean Ricard, I
just check first.
Yeah.
No, here's the problem. England is playing Germany. Is it Sunday or Monday? Monday. No, Tuesday. England plays Germany on Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
I am rooting for Germany, guys. I am rooting for Germany. But if England wins, I won't be sad. I do have a Joyce, I do have an English national team soccer shirt, don't I? Because England is my second favorite.
That's
Sorry, Scottish
right.
guys.
Yeah.
England is my second favorite national team. Germany, then England.
It's very true. So
Now, America, actually, Germany's second and England's third. America's first, but it's America.
In this case, he'll root for the winner. Will be totally Switzerland.
I'll be Switzerland and root for the winner.
Yep. So, that's funny. Oh, JD rejected his memory.
Oh,
So,
well, everybody's going to be biased there, Somerset Andy. Everybody
Yeah, it's
has
okay.
their favorite album.
Yeah, it's alright. It's no problem.
I will say this.
I like Metallica too.
I will say this. Everybody will argue over the greatest album of all time. I will say it's, like, to me, I'll say Abbey Road Side 2 is the greatest single side of rock and roll music.
Yeah.
Abbey Road Side 2.
Although,
However, I will argue to the death that the most important album in rock and roll history is Sgt. Pepper's. It is not even the best Beatles album, but it's the most important album in rock history. It is by far the most important. The first album put the lyrics on it. The first album to do a really artistic cover. What it meant. People don't understand how the music world changed when Sgt. Pepper's came out. There was before Sgt. Pepper's and after Sgt. Pepper's. Sgt. Pepper's is that dam break when the world changed. The great music critic Milton Okun said that what makes Sgt. Pepper's so special is that Sgt. Pepper's was the first artistic expression in a genre that had never been considered art before. It is not my favorite Beatles album, although the recording sessions have some of my favorite songs. Strawberry Fields, Day in the Life, which I think is the greatest pop rock song ever constructed. Day in the Life is just the most beautiful rock ballad ever done. I know you can argue Stairway to Heaven and things like that, but Day in the Life is just,
yeah, it's awesome.
it's just,
But also, like, Pink Floyd.
Piper at the Gates of Dawn was recorded at the same time.
Yeah, but the one, I'm forgetting the name, over the
Dark Side of the Moon.
Dark Side of the Moon, that's what I'm thinking of. Dark Side of the Moon was quite a fantastic
And
one,
yeah,
too.
second greatest,
Yeah.
most important album of all time would be Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon,
Yeah.
because that was,
And that was thematic.
Boom.
That was thematic, too.
there were lots of them. I mean, it's just what they meant to beyond the music world, the whole culture world.
Hi-ya-luma. I mean, everybody can argue the best album, of course.
Oh, that's right. Denmark plays Wales.
Right.
Oh,
That'd
see,
be
my
a fun
German,
game. Yeah.
Jean Ricard, my Germanic thing says root for Denmark, but Alan is from Wales,
Right.
and so I can't root against Wales with Alan here. Text me later, we'll talk. As long as Alan is on YouTube, I can't root against Wales. I will root for Wales for Alan. And if they win, it's all because I rooted for them.
Yeah, its artistic nature of Day in the Life was amazing. For sure.
Yeah. And again, I don't say, Joseph, I won't even, as a Beatles fan, as a Beatles maniac, I won't even say Sgt. Pepper's is their greatest album. There's some weak songs on Sgt. Pepper's. But what it did, it was the nuclear bomb blast. It was the Hiroshima of rock and roll. That was the explosion that said rock and roll is no longer just a kiddie pop music
Yes,
scene.
you know we like you, Alan. We respect everybody's other team like we respect people, so it's okay. have your favorite
I
team.
always root for the British
Yeah,
Isles. I root
you
for the
do,
British
of
Isles
course.
team.
Have
Except
your-
for Germany, but I also root for the
have
Germanic
your
team.
favorite
Germany,
team.
Austria, Denmark,
your
Netherlands. I got a Dutch
favorite
national
album.
team jersey upstairs. I've got 4 German. I got 4 German national team jerseys.
Yeah, you do.
1 Dutch,
Yeah,
1 England,
yeah.
and nobody else. I don't even have an American national team jersey.
No, well, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Sorry, any American we just offended. I'm sorry. But when you're in Europe during the World Cup, you really get it.
Yeah, we have been in Germany so many times with the World Cup on.
Yeah, we have. Wow, we were going pretty much every year.
Because-
so it sort of got, happened.
The World Cup or the Euro Cup. Both of them. Americans like to make a big deal out of our Super Bowl. And Americans, you gotta understand, if I have any Americans here,
Yeah, I don't think you do anymore, you
we
do.
got a few.
Yeah,
The
that's all right, lad.
the World Cup is so much bigger. Even the Euro Cup is so much bigger than any American sporting event.
Not talking.
I had my students in Germany in 2004 when, when was that? Which one was it? 2008? Germany, it was the first game of the World Cup, and Germany won like 4-0. It was when the World Cup was in Germany, or the Euro Cup, I forget which one.
It was
Euro
the
Cup or-
World Cup.
But Germany just won the first round game. Okay, we all know how, the first round of the Euro Cup works, the group stage games. And the people are partying in the streets and going nuts. And like, did Germany win the title? And we're like, no, guys, this was just game 1.
Yeah, it's just game 1.
This was just game
But
1.
it is, our students had their jaws on the floor. They didn't understand it, but it's nationalism, where the football is just, American football is just your city, and then people who root for them. So yeah, they've never seen it on a scale, and it blew their minds.
Welcome, Tony Northeastern.
Yeah.
Right now, we're talking football,
Yeah, as we said.
world football, not
And-
American football,
And Beatles.
and music.
So, yeah, it's.
And we're watching trains go around, which is what we do all the time.
We love traveling without our students, but I'm telling you, there is nothing like seeing the world through the eyes of a teenager.
A good
It's-
teenager.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just super amazing to see what those pops their eyes and opens them.
Yeah,
And,
we took, because you went along
I
and
went
helped.
along in all of them.
We
yeah.
took 100 and over a 14-year period, 15-year period, we took 140 of my students to Germany over a 13 trip bit. And only one I would never take back. But
Yeah.
otherwise,
Oh,
the thing is, even the one I want to take back, their experience in Germany and watching them experience Europe, a different part of the world,
yeah.
was amazing, because these were working class kids from America. These were working class kids from America. They weren't spoiled rich kids. They were working class kids whose parents saved up or worked overtime to save money to send these kids to Germany.
Yeah.
And it was a blast to watch them. They were like 6-year-olds on Christmas, 5-year-olds on Christmas. Just every day was a gift to open up and unwrap and enjoy. And they always did us proud. When we took them places, when we took them to shops, when we took them to historical sites, they never acted stupid.
No, they did. Yeah, Luma, you're right. We do have a huge population. But we don't have the nationalistic love of our football team.
Yeah.
Nay.
Well, we don't, because they never win.
They're losers.
Americans are bandwagoners. We don't root for a
That's
team until they
true.
win. All right. No, the problem with American soccer, with American football, and I tend to call it football, not soccer. The problem with the U.S. national football team. Now, people forget, soccer football is the #1 participation sport in the United States. More than football, baseball, and basketball combined. We play football over here. The problem with football in the United States is similar to the problem with football in the or in England, let's say. First of all, people forget our women's team is 4-time world champions and 3-time gold medal winners. All right, our women's team, so we know how to play soccer. And people can say, oh, there's not as many women's team playing. So what? There's fewer women playing too. But the problem with American football is the American football team. Because again, Luma, it's the #1 sport in the United States in terms of people playing it. But what happens is there's 2 issues. The first issue is a little easier to understand. Oh, American football. Oh, I thought you would say soccer. Yeah. Yeah, soccer team.
I know, but that means I'm talking about the American
football. But the U.S. soccer team, just to finish that thought, the U.S. soccer team is bad because of how we select people to be on the national team. We don't have a true trial and work your way up system. We have kids in various parts of the country are observed early as being potential stars. They are immediately signed to camps. The camps use these kids to sell and promote themselves. Parents have to pay hundreds and thousands of dollars to send these kids all over the country, sometimes even on world trips. And this starts when they're 8 years old. And then by the time they're 13 or 14, they're already getting sponsorships, Nike, whatever else. And then what happens is when they come to the U.S. 16 and under team, the 18 and under team, the sponsors pick who plays. Nike comes in and says, you've got to play this guy because we've got him signed to a contract. He has to play. And the U.S. Soccer Association bows down and says, okay, so you've got to have wealth and sponsorship, and that's what makes a team. So when these guys finally make the American national soccer team, they're not about winning for the country. They're about, man, is somebody from the Bundesliga or Real Madrid or the Premier League watching me play? They are playing for themselves and to get a big contract somewhere. They're not playing to win. And you've seen that with the English national team for years as well. Even though they have a better system of recruiting talent, once they get to the national team, they're not about winning for the country. They're about, I'm the star.
Yeah. So the women's team is different because they don't have that system, and they are so fun to watch. But to go back to American football and the Super Bowl, it just still doesn't have the passion.
Well, and that's true.
I don't care if there's more people who watch. If you're watching in Europe, you're watching it because it's a thing, not because your heart's in it.
But the other thing that hurts soccer in the United States is commercialism. You can't, American corporate TV does not like broadcasting soccer, even though ESPN does it, because you can't interrupt it every 3 minutes to show commercials and sell cars and watches and beer.
Yeah.
You know, oh no, every 3 minutes.
Yeah,
you know, when you watch American football, people complain all the time, oh my gosh, our NFL games are 4 hours long. We got to do something to shorten the games. Well, it's not that we shorten the games, it's that we now stop play all the time to show commercials.
Yeah.
We're going to slow everything down so we can show commercials. So make the game, cut all these things out of the game so we can show more commercials. Baseball, basketball, the games are longer and longer. When I was a kid, an NFL game lasted 2.5 hours. Now they last 3.5, almost 4 hours because of commercials.
Yeah. I discovered I couldn't watch American football games when I was exercising because the game was so slow. It was forever. Whenever time you looked up, they were at another commercial or a huddle or something. It's like you couldn't watch it. It was too dull.
And I've been a fan and a supporter of the U.S. women's national team since its inception in 1985.
Oh, for sure he was, yeah.
Yeah. As soon as we declared a national team, let's go. I was a huge supporter going all the way back to Michelle Akers, even before Mia Hamm became the big star, but big supporter because they built the U.S. women's team up correctly, which is why they're so good. And our men's team could compete and win a World Cup. Our men's team could win a World Cup if we had the selection and
Way too crazy.
combinations, and then you would see America suddenly become huge fans.
Yeah, Luma, you better watch those Cleveland Browns this year. They got something.
I played soccer as a boy, and my dad hated it because it was a sissy sport.
Right. Hey, your dad would call it a sissy sport.
But you guys all, I've been a Liverpool fan since the late 60s, early 70s. I've been a huge Liverpool Reds fan. I suffered through the 30-year drought. We won last year and then had a crappy year this year. Too many injuries and but I'm a fan of various sports teams from Toledo or the city of Cleveland, which is east of me. I'm a big Cleveland fan. Baseball, the Cleveland Indians, Cleveland Browns, Cleveland Cavaliers in basketball. And they don't win. They never win. The Cavaliers did win 5 years ago.
Yeah, they did. And the Indians have gone to the World Series.
They went to the World Series 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
And the Browns last won an NFL title in 1964. They've never even been in the Super Bowl.
Well, I don't know about the football tournament.
It's
about the baseball tournament.
It's no. It's the CONCACAF.
Yeah.
That's easier to do. CONCACAF.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the North American tournament. The when it's North and South America, we call it Copa America. So CONCACAF is Central North America and the Caribbean, and then Copa Americana is North and South America combined. But that rarely happens. And
Yeah.
South,
How often does it happen? It doesn't
like,
seem like it's
yeah, it's just every now and then.
somebody decides, let's have a two continent.
Oh no, I misunderstood what he wrote there.
Oh.
Oh, why do we call it the World Series because
I see.
yeah, because we're Americans and sometimes we're arrogant.
Yeah.
We think the world revolves around us.
Well,
Hey, David Jones from Cottesmore, how are you,
so
sir?
yeah, it's the World Series of baseball for the under 14 or something.
Yeah.
Is you have two brackets. You've got world national teams playing, and then the other bracket is all American teams playing. So you're
But usually the team from Europe is an American Air Base team.
so you're guaranteed to have an American team versus somebody else.
Yeah. The Little League World Series. The Little League World Series. One side is all the American teams, and the other bracket is the
Yeah.
world team.
I know what you mean, Andrew, sorry. They don't concentrate on home talent.
We're doing well here.
No. What? It's cleaning.
Been doing all kinds of electrical work around the house, and again, for those who haven't figured it out for the umpteenth time, we have the blinking light is gone and fixed. I did clean up and replace a bunch of track over in the tricky area, except for the turnout, because I don't have that spare turnout. And I have
I move things out.
yeah, I have broken out my long, dusty model kits, and I'm going to try to start building models again. We'll see if my arthritis and hands will let me do it. Can you set that on the table behind you? Thank you, my dear.
Safe food, perhaps not.
You didn't model your one shirt. And I'm modeling my new Silas D. Sumbish shirt.
I thought about it. I got busy.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to try to go
World-
under the table and
world
fix the Fowler
news.
car system and see if I can get it going.
Yeah.
And talking football. Again, I just run trains and talk about whatever and either run on my own tangents or follow what you guys talk about. We've done music, we've done football, the football, since England is playing Germany. And I root for Germany in that case, guys. It's a tough route, but I'm rooting for Germany.
The light is really secondary.
Although I expect England to win.
Access hole is the big news.
Oh,
And
yeah.
finally put one in so he can reach the track that's been giving him troubles and fix the light.
Yeah, you can, I've hidden it well. I've disguised it well, but yes, I cut out an access hole in my layout here so I could reach this track and fix some of the problems I've been having with it lately. And also change that light out. So I finally.
He's been busy.
I've been busy.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So now the floor is pink. We don't have just orange buildings anymore.
But, so, wiring, I've been doing a lot of electrical work to get my head back around it, rewiring a whole lot of light sockets and everything, putting in new lights on the outside of the house, the garage.
Yep.
Really improving what we call the curb appeal of my house right now.
Looks good. And then the rain's beating it all down. But
And so now it's raining all over my electrical work. So if everything goes out, it's because I didn't seal something properly.
No, you sealed it well. No, just the flowers are being beat down by all that rain. He's no more buildings.
So I'm looking at buildings, but I'm also looking at going under the table and doing the Fowler car wiring and going back to the original setup that worked instead of with their little digital controller system that screwed everything up.
Tony, he just spray painted some of his 3D buildings and put them around his new hole.
I rearranged some buildings, but I did add a couple that I bought online. But a lot of my 3D printing buildings, I just moved from one part of the layout to another, and I'm just trying to, so when I'm sitting here, I don't really see the pink hole. The pink hole.
It doesn't look bad, I don't think.
Pink hole is kind of like a black hole, but more fun.
More effective.
Oh my God, you can make so many bad jokes with pink hole. We'll just stop now. We'll just stop now, dear.
Restraint is good.
Oh wait, she's looking at me. She can see me making those faces.
I can.
I'm over here going,
Yeah, but there's always a delay. From here. It's like, what are you doing that for?
going nuclear. There's your next storyboard, Alan. Next time you do a video with a little bit of spliced in editing, you could have one of your, you could do a meltdown, a train meltdown. See, in America we have the famous 3 Mile Island meltdown. You could do Royal Scotsman, no, that's a steamroller, whatever. You could do a Pink 66 meltdown. It creates a pink hole. One of the nuclear flasks starts leaking and then mushroom. The problem is the tricky turnout. There's no easy way to get a camera to it.
Yeah, he doesn't have a direct one over there. Because it's over there.
Because yeah, that's why I had to cut the thing because I can't reach it.
It's over there.
And no, during this live feed, maybe some other live stream I might climb up through that, but it would be very tricky to do so. With James Bond in the mix, see, there you go.
I don't think it's even that.
That's a winner. Holmes, James Bond. Well, I'm not really particular as long as the cuffs and the collars match, if you know what I mean. Bond. James Bond. I'm Sean Connery.
That's it. That'd be one of your characters.
Oh,
Sean Connery's voice.
bring him in. Bring in a Sean Connery.
Yeah, you could just use the voice.
Yeah, just use, yeah, but I'm saying bring in a Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Sean Connery.
Guys, let's face it, there's, people of that time came from all over.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Hit the like button, y'all. Really, 21 likes. 20 people.
Yeah, I
Not all
don't think
of
we
them-
ever went more than 20. I think we hit 20 and then go down a
Doesn't matter.
bit.
You have all these different people that have come in and out. So 19 is disgraceful. 21 is disgraceful
Well,
for 2.5 hours.
don't jinx me, dear.
Sorry.
Don't jinx me.
Sorry.
We definitely have. We rose to our height, and now we've settled down to a happy little group. I don't even have competition today.
Okay.
No, when you just do the same thing every day, people get bored.
Yeah,
That's why we do it once a week.
That was quite a thing. That's one of those first things I remember growing up was the 3 Mile Island disaster. Did Joyce in the hole?
Except we got to get the wire through there, and that would take a little doing. They're gonna send you up through there.
Yeah,
up here.
I noticed.
Actually, she might have a couple of bigger problems coming through the hole than me.
I really still am smaller than you. It's okay.
You think?
Well, not sticking out, but shoulders, I mean.
Yeah, you're narrow shoulders, but there's this way.
No,
That's the
it's
issue.
fine. It's not that big. Good heavens.
Some people are never happy. Yes, it is almost 11 p.m. there. It is.
Yeah, I'm yawning
Yeah.
here. It's quarter of.
It's almost dinner time here, and we've been in the house all day.
Yeah.
Well, I say we. She's been in the house all day. I had to go to
I don't
go
like,
get a blood test done.
Don't like to do that. I took the garbage out.
Oh, you took the garbage out. Okay.
I know.
Well, you got to be stirring.
I am.
All right, Roy. Thanks for stopping by. Take care. We're going to be wrapping this up in a couple of minutes ourselves.
Yeah, today I cooked tonight.
You're cooking dinner tonight?
Big sandwiches.
Oh, okay. Yeehaw! Big sandwiches.
Liz is up. She was up.
Yeah, okay. Works for me. She's up for now. Yeah, there's a problem with this computer now, too.
Oh, what's that?
When I come here and try to open up YouTube through the new Windows, the new Edge. Oh, wait. Yeah, this happens.
Wow, that's weird.
Status breakpoint error, whatever the hell that means. So it won't open in that window, so I'm using Google Chrome. All right, Tony Northeastern, thank you. Such a big channel, stopping in on my tiny little corner of the world. Thank you. Yeah, we can start that argument. Who's the best Bond? I like Sean Connery, but I don't know if I'd say. Problem is, the guys I think would have been the best Bonds. To be honest, I like the Daniel Craig movies. And yeah, I know Bond is blonde in those, and that's not accurate. I thought Tim Daly could have been the best Bond. He really matched the character in the actual Ian Fleming books. I thought Timothy Daly. The problem is Daly got caught when they were trying to create a different style of Bond. So he got done. Bye, Chris. Take care. Good night. Tell Shirley hello. And good night. I think Tim Daly could have been a great Bond in his era if they had made better movies. He just got stuck when they were trying to kind of change the formula.
Bye.
Pierce Brosnan, to me, had a couple of the best movies and a couple of the real stinkers, and Roger Moore had the other stinkers. But even Sean Connery made a couple of crap Bond movies. So I don't know if I have a favorite Bond. My favorite Bond movie was always Live and Let Die, although I think Casino Royale with Daniel Craig is probably my favorite now. I liked Roger Moore in the first couple because I think Man with the Golden Gun is one of the better Bond movies, and it gets underrated. It gets downplayed a lot. But Roger Moore also made some of the crappiest. I mean, some of them were funny and you could tolerate it, but like Octopussy and View to a Kill were just ugh. All right, Kieran, take care. Good night. So I think they've all done good and bad. I think even the Tim Daly movies are better looking back than they were when first done. But yeah, they were kind of changing the Bond character a bit. I think a couple of the Pierce Brosnan ones were just horrible. He made 4. 2 were good and 2 were garbage. I like the Daniel Craig ones. I've enjoyed those. And so I don't have a particular favorite. I just have favorite movies like, From Russia with Love is one of my favorites. From Russia with Love is one of my favorite Bond movies because, A, I just think it's a well done movie. And 2, the story behind the guy who played Ali Kimbe was a Mexican actor, Guillermo Hernandez or whatever his name was. I'm gonna feel bad that I'm forgetting it now. Was dying of cancer when he filmed that, and he actually died before the movie was released in the theaters. He never saw the finished movie. He died while it was in post-production. That is just amazing. He wanted to do the part when he found out he was dying, and they said, well, we can get somebody else. He's like, no, and they agreed to work with him. And you could see some of the scenes they filmed early in the movie and later in the filming, and you could see how his hair has grayed up a lot, and he is just sicker. And it's really a tragic story, but he's also a hero because I love his character, and to do that while you know you're dying was just amazing. Wait, Andrew, your favorite movie is A View to a Kill. Did you say that because I just said it's one of my least favorites? Yeah, A View to a Kill, Octopussy. Even the Star Wars one. You know, where they did where the original book was just a missile that was going to be blown up in England. Moonraker. I'm not a big fan of Moonraker. Love Carolyn Monroe, but that's a different story. Those brunettes.
Indeed.
And I can't. The World Is Not Enough. That's a bad one. Where they were ripping on Rupert Murdoch. I love the fact that they were attacking Rupert Murdoch, but I didn't think it was a great movie. Goldfinger is a pretty good one. Oh, it's definitely your favorite. I'm sorry, because it's probably one. It's up there as one of my least favorites, but yeah.
It's okay.
You Only Live Twice is a good one. I like that one. But I do like Daniel Craig's. Casino Royale. Roger Moore, I love Live and Let Die, and Man with the Golden Gun, and then they just slide downhill after that. Actually, Roger Moore, For Your Eyes Only is a good one. That might be, Live and Let Die is my favorite Roger Moore one, but to be honest, For Your Eyes Only, other than a couple of weak bits.
That was the first one I saw in a theater.
I do love that one.
Parents.
Oh, you like Jaws. Richard Kiel is Jaws.
Oh.
Luma likes Jaws.
Sheesh.
But I really could not get into, the only reason I downgrade for your eyes only. I think it's
Yeah.
well made, but the stupid American figure skating bimbo, Holly Johnson or whatever her name was in the movie, she is such a badly made character. She is just such a horrible, ditzy blonde, slutty stereotype. She almost ruins the movie because I think it's a good plot and well done, except for her character. Yes, I have, Joseph. I have
The
seen
other
Retro
room,
House.
they're staying together.
Oh, they were all running with each other.
Yeah, they still
Oh
got
crap! Which camera could I get that
Go
with?
straight away. I'll get you the long way.
There we go. We got 3 guys coming in that way. That's a cool view. Good eyes here. And then we'll go to up the ramp.
Casino Royale is crazy.
Say what?
Casino Royale is crazy.
Well, there's the 60s psychedelic one, which was just goofy.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking, yeah. Ah, sorry. Yeah, I should probably go start getting.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I'll start wrapping this down.
Yep. All right, everybody. Cheers. We're doing it, son.
And we're gonna bring the trains down to a stop and turn off their lights because you should always turn off all their accessories before you power them down. At least that's what I was told by my German pros when I was in Germany about trains, is before you shut the power off, make sure all the lights and everything are off, because otherwise you can mess up the decoders when you turn them on. So I think that's everybody now. 2 and 4, we're good. All right, everybody, once again, thank you all for spending a Friday here with me online. I'll be back next Friday. I might be posting a couple of quick shows regarding my what I'm working on. I might go back to making the Model Train Outsider shows. I don't know if the Ghost of 2015 will be back or not. We'll see, but I'll probably be doing something like that. But also depending on whether I start with the model kits first this weekend or start with the Feller car system, I'll probably post something on that. So I want to thank all of you that still continue to come out and hang with me, even if this is not the cool channel. It's always an honor to be here and hang out with you all and feel your support from far away. So to everybody from Joyce and me, Auf Wiedersehen and Tschüss, and happy trains.